Welcome to EducateVirtually.com. Have you been trying to get that new position and you found that you just don't have the skill set requirements? Have you found that some of your weaknesses need to be turned into strengths? Well, here's your opportunity at EducateVirtually.com. We have courses in analytics, business skills, operations improvement, and those all-important university accredited certifications in Lean Six Sigma and Kaizen Facilitator. Your first course is just one click away. So go for it, grow your talent, and do it today. Welcome to another short subject from EducateVirtually.com. I'm Charlie Carpenter, I'm your host. I'm going to answer a few of your questions about Lean, Six Sigma, and Lean Six Sigma. Just what are these three things? So let's get started. Lean is the synchronization of process output to customer demand. That's all it is. Making sure that we make the right stuff at the right time to deliver to the customer at the rate and frequency with which they want to receive it. That's what Lean is all about. Anything other than that is waste. Has 7 principles. The first is the elimination of waste. Second, simplify the processes. Make it easy. Manage the processes for quality. You can't inspect it in. You have to manage it in. You have to build it in. Produce to demand. One piece at a time if possible. Continuous improvement. We can always get a little bit better every day, every week, every month. And then respect for people and teamwork. Because if our team can work together, we can achieve some really wonderful things. So Six Sigma, all right, what is that? Well, Six Sigma is a structured method, all right. It drives continuous improvement, sounds a little bit like Lean, of products, processes, and service delivery. And what we're trying to do is meet or exceed customer requirements. All right? Now, 4 cornerstones of Six Sigma. All right, the first is we're going to use some key performance metrics to make sure that we can measure things on a common scale. All right, and what we use for that is a thing called a process sigma level. Structured improvement. The approach that we follow is a thing called DMAIC. We define, we measure, we analyze, we improve, and then we control. DMAIC. We implement, and this is key, as fast as you can, but as slow as you must. All right, so we want to get projects done, get things implemented, and then continue on. It doesn't mean we're going to go train every single person in the organization, although that would make me very happy, but that's not the strategy that is really going to work for you. All right, so as fast as you can, as slow as you must, but get projects done. That's the whole key. If we get projects done, we're moving forward, we're making improvements, we're going to be saving some money. And number 4, and this is really key, use the best practice tools that are already out there. All right, things like total quality management, business process engineering. All right, balanced scorecard. All right, just in time, continuous flow, lean enterprise, designed for excellence. All right, these are all things that will help us to achieve making everything better. All right, and this one I missed here, that was applied statistics, of course. How could I forget that? All right, now, a Lean initiative, a Six Sigma initiative, and then you got to think about resources. So should we do a Lean initiative or a Six Sigma initiative? Well, that's a good question. Early on, when Lean was actually called just in time, the father of this was Taiichi Ono, and Six Sigma, the father of this, was really the Motorola folks. But do you have the resources to have 2 separate initiatives? So really the key to success now is integration. That's the key to success. Put these things together. Use the best practices from Lean, the best practices from Six Sigma. Utilize the tools and techniques that make the most sense and get projects done. That's how you're going to be successful. A little bit of history. All right, let's start with a little bit of history because a lot of these tools and methods have been around for quite a long time. So let's start with the 1920s. We've got Sir Ronald Fischer, who is often called the father of modern day statistics, he invented design of experiments. How about Henry Ford with the River Rouge plant? Continuous flow manufacturing. Raw materials in one end, cars rolled out the other end. You could have any color of a car you wanted as long as it was black. 1930s, Walter Shewhart invents SPC, Statistical Process Control, and the Plan, Do, Check, Act continuous improvement cycle. In the 40s, Plackett and Berman helped us get through the war with industrial experiments. In the 50s, Edwards Deming, may he rest in peace, quality management. He brought that to the Japanese after World War II. Armand Feigenbaum, not too many people may know of Armand, but he developed the total quality control concept, and he also invented this thing called cost of quality. No, it wasn't Phil Cosby, although he would like to take credit for that. In the 60s, the good doctor Genichi Taguchi invented a system of experimental design, building on the methods of Fischer, and also Joe Duran, he developed the Quality Control Handbook, which is a terrific Bible for driving continuous improvement. In the 70s, Taiichi Ono, Shigeo Shingo, Bob King, all were contributors, and the things we got out of Ono, just in time and the 7 wastes. Shigeo Shingo, he came up with a lot of really great stuff. Single minute exchange of die, POCA, yoke, mistake proofing, quality at the source. These are all things that came out of Shigeo Shingo. And then Bob King, he brought quality function deployment to the United States, which is a matrix method that helps us to focus on what the customer wants, how important it is, and then how we're going to deliver that to the customer. So QFD helps with that. In the 80s, Motorola basically came up with this thing called the Process Sigma and DMAIC improvement process. And what they did was they had a meeting, the leadership team, and they looked at each other and said, wouldn't it be great if we could make a 50% improvement year in, year out? Where would we be? That would be terrific. And then they looked at each other and said, okay, well, that's really great, but how are we going to do that? So that they proposed doing a study to look at all of the different continuous improvement and problem-solving methods that were out there, and they combined those things together to come up with the define, measure, analyze, improve, and control DMAIC improvement process. And then they also understood that performance metrics were really important, so they developed the Process Sigma level. All right. In the 90s, okay, we've got American industry is doing just in time, Toyota Production System, business process engineering. All right, defense and others are doing separate things, Lean and Six Sigma, but separate initiatives. And IBM, GE, and Allied Signal were embracing Six Sigma by itself. So the integration of these two things hadn't happened yet. In the 2000s, then we began to think about, well, we don't have unlimited resources. We have all these great tools and methods. If we combine them together, we can make some really dramatic improvements and utilize the resources that we have. So integration of Lean Six Sigma and use best practice tools is the way to go, and that's what's going on now and into the future. So how do you actually resolve any issue with either a product, a process, or service delivery? Well, let's take a look at this. We start with defining a SMART problem statement. Just what is the issue? We measure those key performance metrics. How big, how bad, how often does this issue take place? Then we analyze it to understand the root causes. We improve after we understood the root causes. We develop and validate our solutions. We make sure they work before we fully implement them. We test them. And then control. We put controls in place, we ramp up to full scale, we maintain our gains, we do all our training, and we put some performance metrics in place to maintain control. So that's DMAIC, define, measure, analyze, improve, and control, and that is a way that we can do away with any issues of products, processes, or service delivery. So Lean Six Sigma, the integration of these two concepts, the goal, goods and services are produced when we need them, on time, in the right quantities for our customers that are going to meet or exceed customer requirements. The vision, drive organizations to design and produce products and services at the Process Sigma levels. It doesn't mean everything has to be at a Process Sigma level of 6 or 3.4 defects per million. It needs to be at the Process Sigma level that's dictated by the customers. And then the strategy, data-driven. structured, attack the issues as fast as you can, but as slow as you must, and get projects done. All right, if we're going to train some people, let's make sure that the training includes working on the project so that they get a head start and they get projects done to drive improvement in your organization. And that's what it's all about. So here at Educate Virtually, we're here to help. We've got online training and coaching. We can help you achieve business operations excellence. And that's why we're here.